Welcome to Great Gadgets and Gear. Okay, so today I have this Judge Pro little RC car. It says it's 110, it's more like 112. It runs $139 on Amazon, but it's currently unavailable. It has dual brushed 390 motors, which you could upgrade. It has a 3-wire steering servo, oil-filled shocks, they're dual shocks in the rear, and all metal gears. It's 4-wheel drive. It comes with 2 chargers, 2 batteries. They're 1600 milliamp. Battery strap, a couple of tools, and a plastic battery cover. So that way you have your choice of either doubling up the batteries and using the strap or using a single battery and using the plastic cover. It claims 48 kilometer. I always stumble on this word. Kilometers an hour. It's actually like 19 miles an hour. And that's running 2 batteries at the same time. I would definitely upgrade to bigger batteries. I've even seen people use 3S batteries in here. Not sure how good that is for the vehicle, but they've gained a few miles per hour to make it go a little faster. So I'm going to go over the good stuff and the bad stuff with you real quick, and then we'll take it out for a bash and we'll take a look at this thing. The good things about this is this little thing takes a beating. I took it to a concrete skate park, which for a 112 vehicle is brutal on them because they're so small. But I had really no issues with this thing. I took those big jumps with this thing. I don't know if you watch Kevin Talbot's channel, but man, I was out there just bashing this little thing, having tons of fun with it. It took it and took it and took it for the longest time. But one bad landing and I bent an axle. But I was shocked at how well this thing did and performed for such a little car. Another thing is I haven't had any issues running it in the snow or through some light water, as long as you dry it out really, really well afterwards. Because if you don't take care of it and maintain it, you'll seize up all the bearings and everything will get rusty, and then it'll be a nightmare. It'll probably cost you more to fix it than it would to replace it. The good thing is when I did damage it, the company did offer to ship me the parts for free, which I thought was amazing. It ran about 30 minutes with the dual batteries before I had to change them out, so that was actually pretty cool for a little truck like this. It's pretty easy to repair. And it's a great truck for beginners, people just starting out who haven't maybe like me touched an RC car in many, many, many years. And it's a fun little basher. I was really impressed with the performance of this truck. Not so much the speed, but the performance of it. It did quite well. It took a beating and it kept going. And I've did it in a couple different situations and stuff. I've done it off ramps in the backyard, the skate park. A little bit in the snow, and it's held up really well. Now the bad thing with this truck, it's very hard to get parts for this truck because you can only get them by email, and I'm not sure what language they speak, but there's a really bad communication problem. There's no website to order parts from, and you can't order them over the phone. You have to do everything by email, and it was very complicated. I mean, I even sent them a blow up of the parts sheet, circled the items I needed, listed the items I needed, and it was really weird experience because one, they didn't even send all the parts out at once. They sent them out one at a time, which took forever. And then the communication issue, since they did it that way, they ended up sending some parts, the same parts twice, and then other parts not at all. So it was very difficult to try to communicate. Even though the parts were free, it was just an extremely difficult and tedious process. So this truck is similar to the 9125, which is I think Hosum. If you can probably get parts through them and really save yourself, because that was the worst part about this whole deal with this truck, was getting the replacement parts and the amount of time and effort it took to get them. Because other than that, I mean, it was nothing to fix this thing. I mean, it was just a really small little part, and I got it fixed right away. The other bad thing is the brushless motors are really, really slow. I mean, 19 miles an hour. When you're just starting out and the first time you've operated it, it seems kind of fast. But after you use it for a while and you get used to it, then you realize it's really, really kind of slow. But you can upgrade them, which is cool. So, and I would put better oil in the shocks. Other than that, it's definitely a neat little truck. I mean, I did really enjoy it. The cover here, like I said, I don't know if you watch Kevin Talbot's channel, but I took the cover off. Too bad I should have did it first, but I didn't come across this video right away, and I did reinforce it, which does make a really huge difference with the drywall mesh and the shoe glue. And if you're going to do this, the easiest way to put it on is rubber gloves and using one finger and squirt the glue on your finger and then smear it on over the tape, because this stuff pulls up and it just goes on smoother, easier, the glue goes farther, and you know, you can double, triple the mesh in certain areas. And then like here on the rim of the truck, which really gets torn up, I just shot a bead of the glue in there and let it dry, so it got like a really hard frame in there almost. So that worked out really well because it's held up really good. There's just some minor little scratches and stuff here and there. So here's the inside of it, and you can see it's mostly enclosed, which is really cool because it's going to help protect it a little bit. They all say they're waterproof. They're more like water resistant, especially at this entry level price and configuration. But I did like that it was all concealed like this because it's keeping the dust out, it's keeping a lot of the water and the snow out of there. I'd probably minimize water with this, just being what it is. Snow, it seems to do pretty good in the snow as long as you dry it out right away when you're done with it, because if you don't, it's going to rust up and freeze up. Okay, so here's your battery compartment. There's a single battery. And if you do that, you tuck the wires in and you got a nice solid plastic cover that keeps everything concealed, which is really cool. If you double up the batteries, you get a strap which wrap around to hold the batteries in place, but it does go faster, so it's all going to depend on if you want to go faster or if you're just going to go out bashing or whatever. With the double batteries too, the time lasts longer because I think you only get 14-15 minutes on a single battery versus the double. Here's your on-off button, the little red button here. Here's your antenna for your remote. And then this wire here is for the front and rear lights, which I'll show you in a second. But I just wanted you to see the shocks. They are oil-filled shocks. They probably need more oil, and I would definitely probably put a better quality oil in there. But, you know, it's cool, man. You got nice doubles on the back, which it took, like I said, it took that skate park really well. Alright, so, here's the remote. It's just a really kind of cheapy standard remote. There's your antenna. It's got a foam wheel, which is kind of nice for cheapy WL toys. You got your steering trim there, your steering direction, and normal and reverse in case you need to reverse it for some reason. And then high and low speed for someone just starting out, especially if it's smaller kids, you could start them out on low till they get used to it and then crank it up to high. Other than that, it's just a very basic, cheapy remote. It does only take 3 AA's instead of the standard 4. I would upgrade the batteries. I don't know if I said that or not. These are 1600 milliamp. I would definitely upgrade them if you want it to go a little faster, last a little longer. I've had good success with the 2700 milliamp. They're only slightly bigger, but they stay in really well with the strap. They won't go underneath the cover, but man, way longer run times and stuff, so that's really cool. Alright, so let's turn it on. Alright, blue light, it's on. Here's your headlights. There's your brake lights. And then the servo is pretty quick. Probably needs to be trimmed up a little bit too. Pretty quick little, it's a 3-wire servo. It's pretty quick for this little truck. Alright, so I'm going to snap the cap on here. Let's see. So these are the batteries that come with it. There's 2 of them. Oops. GP toys. Alright, then you get a couple of chargers. I label them just because I got a lot of different chargers. I don't use these myself. I have a dedicated huge charger, but this is what comes with it. And then your manual, which is cool. And it does give you all the parts though. But like I said, it's compatible with 9125s, so you might be able to get parts from somewhere else. A little easier. And then the little cheapy basic tools you get with it, you get a little screwdriver and a little nut wrench for the lug nuts. You get this little adapter piece to plug the two batteries together to run them at the same time. Your battery strap. And then I had to change out the body pins because the ones that come with it are so tiny. They're just way too tiny for my hands, so I have a hard time getting them in and out. So for this test, since it's snowing out, I'm going to tuck this stuff in and put the plastic cover on so we can take it out for a little bash in the snow here. Alright, it clicks on really good like that. Put your wire in there. Put the cover on. Alright. Put these clips in here. Oh, it's so hard to see, it's so little. Get in there. Alright, so give me 1 second and we're gonna take it out in the snow and give it a bash. Hold on. Okay, here we go. And over it goes. Hold on. Take two. So it's a fun little truck to play. It goes pretty quick for what it is for a little 112 thing. It jumps really well. I wish I had some jump set up. It does jump really well. Whoa. As it just jumped out of camera range. Oh, hold on, I got it hung up again. Okay, well, you kind of get the idea here. This thing, it's a lot of fun. It's a cool little toy. And it is fun at the skate parks. I absolutely love taking these things to the skate parks because the jumping and stuff makes it more fun, seeing how far you can fly, and you know, just driving around in circles in the yard gets a little boring after a while. But so overall, would I recommend this truck? I would. If you can find another place to get parts for it, I definitely would. This thing is fun. It takes a beating, and it holds up really well. I'm very surprised. $139 is a little pricey for this. I would probably wait and try to get this on sale for definitely a better, lower price. But it's not bad. It works. It runs pretty decent. Hold on, let me get it in. Alright. So I got it drying over the the heating duct. It makes kind of a mess, but it does a really good job of drying it out pretty quick. So yeah, I would totally recommend this, especially for a beginner. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, it takes a real beating. I would check into the part situation. And I would do that with any RC you buy, no matter what it is. Boat, plane, truck. I can't even think of... I'm stumbling again. Drone. That was what I was looking for, drone. I bought one of those too. I would definitely check parts availability. That's the biggest thing. The easier it is to get the parts, how cheap the parts are, because you gotta watch out. Some of these RCs, some of the parts can be really expensive. I mean, a differential on one truck might be 16 bucks, it might be 40 on another, so you want to keep that in mind when you're buying these things as well. I've been out of this for a really long time. So this one and the previous video on the little buggy was kind of my way back into this. I wanted to check it out. They've come a long way since I was a kid, and you know, because you couldn't fix them back then. You broke them, you threw them in the garbage, and you were done. These are all fixable, repairable, buildable. You can do all kinds of cool stuff with these. And it's a neat little hobby. You know, depending on what you're looking for, what you want to get out of it. There's racers. You know, some of these things go 100 miles an hour or more. Huge bashers. There's just all kinds, all different price ranges, all different styles. I myself have since upgraded. I have 2 more that are actually 110 scale. And they're just monsters. It's addicting when you start getting into it and playing with them and stuff, and the parts are so cheap. I think I've only had each one a few weeks, and I already started tearing them apart, building them up, making them better, making them faster, making them stronger. It's a lot of fun. So there you go. So I just wanted to get this review out for you. Sorry, I'm kind of stumbling through this. I don't really have a script or anything. I just kind of wanted to get this out here, because this actual car I'm going to sell, because I did upgrade to 2 more expensive ones, so I kind of want to focus on that. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helped you out in some way, considering I'm kind of new at this. But if you have any questions or constructive comments or anything like that, you know where to put them, and I'll do what I can to answer anything. Stay tuned. I'm still working on some more videos. Really appreciate everybody. Thank you for checking out my channel, and I hope you enjoy your COVID time. This is my second childhood right now, or third, or however you want to look at it. You know, you got to find ways to beat the boredom. All right, great. Thank you. Stay tuned. Take care.